Hey, it's Soleil, and this is episode 68 of the Orange Pill Investor. Going to be a short one. I generally don't trade much throughout the week. You really, selling covered calls, you really only need to log in on Fridays, roll your call options to the next week if you're doing weeklies. If you're doing like 45 days out, as Tasty Trade research kind of recommends, then, you can just come in here every couple of weeks, once a month. However, I got pretty hyped over a couple of MicroStrategy videos that I saw by some guys called Quant Bros. And then I just finished one about what Bitcoin did. They interviewed, was it Raphael Zaguri? Uh, and he had a video about, what's the perfect allocation of Bitcoin. And the the TLDR version is, as much as you can stand. However, this guy came from a traditional finance perspective, and he does realize that the psychology of it is basically whatever you can handle. So if it's, dollar cost averaging once a week, just DCA it a little bit and just drip into it, that's fine. But the funny thing is if even if you just allocate like 1% of your portfolio to Bitcoin, it, and this is not financial advice, but if Bitcoin goes up times 100, now it skews the ratio of your portfolio just to Bitcoin. And contrary to maybe what a lot of people do, is the worst thing you can do is just kind of like adjust it back down to 1%. And now your Bitcoin's 1% again. So, 1% to Bitcoin that goes to 100, 100x, you basically double your account. And so now you're like just Bitcoin weighted, just crazy heavy, and that's that's fine, really. I mean, um, but the best part of this video, I think, maybe from traditional, finance perspective, and I had to look it up. I didn't even know what the hell it was, and it was called the Sharpe ratio, SHARPE, and apparently it's the risk-adjusted return. So you want as much returns as you can possibly get, but you also want to reduce your volatility as much as possible. And this guy's claim was that if you take a 60-40 traditional uh, financial strategy that they've been using for the last 50 years, 60% stock, 40% bonds, and you just add a 5% Bitcoin allocation to just a regular old strategy, it increases that Sharpe ratio to the point where it's better than Warren Buffett's. And I just thought that was hilarious. So that was kind of like, that to me, that's the attention grabbing headline of that entire video. And I'll link the video in the comments. And I'm going to tag a couple of the finance guys, the investor types that I interact with the most on X, and see what they think about it, or maybe it'll help frame their thinking. So, but this video, this guy's talking about what's the proper allocation to Bitcoin, and I thought it was pretty cool because from an investor perspective, it's all about what percentage of my portfolio should be allocated to ABC. And so I thought that was a pretty cool video. And so, but since I was still so excited about the videos from Quant Bros that I saw about MicroStrategy, I decided to do a midweek trade. And I normally don't buy anything that I can't sell a covered call against, but MicroStrategy is kind of like a call option. So something like HUD, I'm just buying shares. But if I wanted to get a LEAPS, which is like long expiration anticipatory stock security. If something like that. I can't remember, but LEAPS is an acronym for something or other. But if you go out here during 5 days, let's just go out all the way to 2026. So if you wanted to buy a deep in the money call, you could actually use this to construct a poor man's covered call, and you could pick these up for cheaper than the shares. But I mean, you could even go way out here and just pick something at 35 and get it for cheap, and you would just sit on this. And this is just it's just a long call option, and you allocate some, you would allocate some tiny percent of your portfolio to this because it's risky. But that's the way that I see MicroStrategy shares. They're leveraged long for Bitcoin. And so I see just owning shares of this almost kind of like a call option. This is a small account, so I just bought like a quarter share, just fractional share, just in case. I mean, if MicroStrategy goes to 10 grand by the end of 2025, I mean, that's 5xing this return. So to me, it's worth it, and that's good for now. Be good, Joe.